All right, so the S333, we had
Volleyfire Thunderstruck.
exactly, just gonna stick with S333.
Okay.
We had a bunch of people ask us to look at it.
Yes.
I think they're expecting us to take a giant Stevie dump on it.
Yeah, that's what they're going to expect.
So we came up to the table and asked, okay, like, tell us, what is the purpose for this? And you know what? The guy's explanation makes sense.
It was reasonable.
Right, this is not an answer for everybody, but this is an answer to a question that doesn't matter. And the design premise for it is basically a very simplistic, sort of an amateur level or a novice self-defense pistol, where I guess the idea came from a self-defense class where one of the principles that was conveyed was that a defensive shooting is typically going to be 3 seconds, 3 yards, and you get like 3 trigger pulls.
Yes.
And so based on that theory, what they put together was, well, what can we do that is best in that parameter? Well, this thing has 2 barrels, and every time you pull the trigger, you're firing 2 shots. It's got an 8-round cylinder of 22, what was it, right?
22 Winchester Magnum.
Yep. Every time you pull the trigger, you get 2 shots off. Now, the guy at the booth was talking about having 1 bullet and 1 shot.
Buck and ball sort of a thing.
I don't think I would ever want to deal with 22 Magnum. Like, is that even snake? It's like gnat shot.
I would go with 2 standard cartridges.
Yeah. Yes. But you have a better chance to hit. They've deliberately designed the trigger to use 2 fingers. The top one has a trigger safety in it, so you can't accidentally depress it.
It's got a dingus.
Right. It's got trigger dingus. The idea being the sort of person who's going to use this is going to be more comfortable being able to use 2 fingers to get more strength on the trigger.
I would say, it's interesting. When I first saw that, first of all, inspired by the MG34. No.
Yeah.
Not really. But what the reality is, if you grab this quick and get your fingers in there, it actually aligns quickly and easily. We're nowhere clear here because we're at SHOT Show, but we'll check it anyway. The reality is, this gives someone that doesn't have a lot of physical strength, this actually is quite easy to pull. And under duress, doing this like literally staple gunning at an adversary multiple times, you're actually putting out a lot of rounds pretty quick. And it does apply to that idea of 3 seconds, 3 shots, 3 yards. And actually, they've given you a little leeway here that you've got 4. Because it's 8 rounds in the cylinder, 2 rounds fired per trigger press.
Right. That's interesting. What's good about this is it, just from looking at it here at the table, it appears to be well put together. It does. It appears to be safe. The sights are usable. The sights are decent. It appears to meet all the basic criteria for a functional, decent gun.
I would call it a last-ditch self-defense pistol.
And then it becomes a question of, is this the solution for you? And for a great many people, the answer is no. But it's important, not just with this, but with all things, to consider that this isn't, most guns are not, any gun they're trying to market to everybody is skanky. Like, there's something wrong with that. Any gun is a solution to a specific set of circumstances. So, does this apply to a valid set of circumstances? Yeah, actually, I think it kind of does.
I think it does, and this is also designed in a way to, I'm not a big fan of pocket carry, but this is designed to be able to get this out of a pocket quickly, which is part of a self-defense pistol. And, in a world where a lot of people talk about carrying their Glock 17 and then throw their J-frame in their pocket, this fits that niche in a maybe better way. Maybe.
Potentially.
It's certainly not a worse way.
Right.
And that's an interesting point. And so, came here to look at this, kind of go, huh? And then in terms of hearing it, actually holding it, dry firing it, what the hell? It's not a bad idea.
I'm not going to, I might go buy one, but just because of the weirdness and the uniqueness,
yes,
I would not carry one of these. But that's because I'm not in the market this thing is aimed at.
It'd be interesting to see what the recoil's like with 22 Magnum. I bet you it's mild.
Reasonably mild. With 2 of them simultaneously, it's probably more than people are going to expect.
Yeah.
But is it, the people that this is aimed at don't even have a clue what to expect.
Fair.
It's probably going to recoil more than someone like you and I expects, because we're not used to firing 2 rounds simultaneously.
This is pull out the staple gun and go to work. Essentially.
Here's the way to look at it. Okay, here's the question for you. You have to fire 2 bullets with each trigger press.
Yes.
Do you want this, or do you want that Arsenal double 1911?
Oh, no,
I'd take this over that Arsenal double 1911 too.
Easily.
That's like the most horrible gun ever.
No, it's a compelling argument. It's not very expensive in terms of things. It's $369 as an MSRP on it. And 22 is 22, but 22 Magnum is better than 22 LR. You're getting 2 of them at once. You're getting 8 of them with only 4 trigger presses.
Even if you do get a dud round because rimfire, it's probably not going to be 2 in the same trigger.
Oh, that's another good point when you mentioned the arsenal. That's a semi-automatic cycling gun. This being a wheel gun, even if one of these rounds were to not fire, you just press the trigger again, the cylinder turns, and you get 2 more rounds. And, like we were saying, I'm not a big pocket buy, but there it is. I mean,
Old person, not a gun person, in the house, in a bathroom pocket. You go to answer the door at 11 p.m. There are worse things to have in your pocket.
I don't disagree. Now, as a strong person, I can fire it if I move my fingers down with one hand. One finger, it's tough though. But with 2, much easier. Paintball gun kind of thing, actually.
I wouldn't mind getting one of these on loan to do some shooting.
No, I agree.
Maybe that'll happen.
So guys, that's interesting. You expected us to say something different, but actually we looked at it, played with it, and it's kind of cool.
Would you take this, or would you take that 380 lifeguard guarantee? Yeah, absolutely. Without a doubt.
This, definitely. All right, cool. Thanks for tuning in.